Hey, welcome back to Cooking with Chew. Today is January 10th. I am back from the store. I did not realize I didn't have any more chickpeas, which is the new staple of my life, at least for the next 30 days. I want to quickly put together this smoked coconut that resembles and tastes amazingly like bacon. I did some yesterday, and I tell you, here the crispiness of it. Let me show you an example. It is really excellent. So I'm gonna put this together. I showed you earlier, at least I planned to show you, it's loaded up on Facebook, not quite on YouTube yet. Coconut slices from the Indian store that were frozen, they thawed. So I actually had to dry these first. That was inconvenient. This is already dried, flaked coconut that you get at Whole Foods. This was perfect for what I'm gonna demo for you. So right now I have 1.5 cups of the flaked coconut. To that, I am going to create the liquid that turns that into the smoking. So I have about 1 tablespoon. Actually, you need a tablespoon of thinned out liquid tamari. This is syrup. This is a little bit thicker than what you really need. So I'm gonna do that. And then I am going to add about a tablespoon of the vegetable broth created from that vegetable bouillon. I need a teaspoon of liquid smoke. Liquid smoke will change your life. If you're making greens and you're not using meat or pork, liquid smoke. If you want to make bacon, liquid smoke. If you want to make your beans more flavorful, liquid smoke. This is the barbecue flavor without barbecue grill. So I need about a teaspoon, but I always go beyond what the directions call for, just a little bit. There's my liquid smoke. I need about a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. This is smoked paprika. Everything, we're going for the smoked flavor of bacon. So that goes in. Next, we need the maple syrup. I don't use sugar syrup because I can't have it, and it really, the sugar, no one should have it if you can avoid it. You need about a teaspoon and a 1/2 of maple syrup. So we're gonna go right back with that same spoon. You know, when you eat your bacon, you taste the maple, but you also taste some sweet in there most of the time. You need a little salt. Says 1/4 teaspoon. These are the large flake salt. So there we have that. Some pepper to taste. I better use the sprinkle. I can see me opening that spoon. Excess, and then that's gonna be too much. Now you need 4 tablespoons of your vegetable stock. That goes in here. 2, we haven't heard anything. It's all gonna go in there anyway. And there is our flavoring for our coconut. My sheet pan is ready. I've got 2 layers of parchment paper. I tell you, parchment paper, if you don't use it, you certainly should start because it saves you so much trouble. Now, once I get my bacon done, I'm gonna make Deacon Good and I some bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. I'm gonna have some fresh iceberg lettuce to put on there. I've got the most beautiful tomatoes, and these are not hothouse. Kroger has stepped it up in the dead of winter. I have a bread that is multi-grain, and in reading through the ingredients on the back, there's absolutely no milk, no butter. It has all vegetable oils. It has so many grains and seeds. Best bread I've seen in a long time. I have some coconut back here that I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to make this for the month. But this was the frozen coconut that now has thawed. It's dried out in my oven, and I'll be using it a little later. So now I'm going to add just a little bit more, as I've done this already. I like that smoked paprika in there. I'm going to pour this smoking liquid over this coconut. Mix it around with my hands. This is going to be spread out on your cooking sheet in a very thin layer. There's going to be a really dark liquid floating around on the bottom of the sheet, but it's going to be on the paper so you won't have a bad mess. And it gets darker as it cooks. Once it is done, in about a total of maybe 9-10 minutes, it comes out. Once it cools, it looks like that. And this is, I tell you, like I said earlier, on top of your salads, your bacon bits, on top of your bowl of beans, green spinach, so many, your plant-based eggs, a little bacon stirred in or just topped. I can see so many uses for this. So now, as you can see, I'm gonna sprinkle this as best I can. It is liquid. And I'm gonna place this all over this sheet. This is an extra large baking pan. So it may look sparse, but that's simply because it is such a big pan. But then by the same token, it gives me a very, very single layer, which is what you're going for. The more single the layers, and then just kind of sprinkle your liquid over top. The thinner the layer, the quicker it cooks, the crisper it becomes. If you ask me, it's pretty amazing. The internet is full of recipes for people who are trying to adjust their eating habits, as we are all trying to do. The shirt I'm wearing today is by Rooted Adoption. My baby son Tim, who was doing Rooted Adoption business, and it's got the scripture from Ephesians. I'll tell you what that is shortly. I just placed my coconut in the oven, and I need to time it. Okay, so 9 minutes from that. Okay, now, quickly, I am going to prepare for you the mayo I promised you. This is 3/4 cups of grapeseed oil. To that, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice. Number 2, actually 1/4 teaspoon of salt, sorry. 1/4 teaspoons salt. Apple cider vinegar, I have right here. The apple cider vinegar is 1 teaspoon. That's 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I keep it in the house because I drink it every single morning. Now I'm kind of early afternoon because I'm fasting, but this prior to my coffee that has a lot of chia seed and flaxseed, which are ground up. I use those in my coffee because they're very, very beneficial to keep your muscles and bones and that sort of thing intact. So anyway, there's the apple cider vinegar. To that, we're going to add, number 4, now we're going to add the lemon juice. This is 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice. It doesn't look quite the right measurement, but we're going to try it out. Then we need Dijon mustard. We only need 1/4 teaspoon. I've got the real good stuff here. Dijon mustard. And you're going to be using an immersion blender for this. I've got the oil, I've got the grapeseed oil. Lemon juice, aquafaba is last. Okay, so that's it. This aquafaba is a liquid inside your can of cannellini beans, white beans, navy beans, but chickpeas in this case, because I'm using these beans a lot. I'm gonna use these beans in another of that recipe that I did, the panipuri. I put that in my potatoes and coconut milk and that sort of thing. But I need 3 tablespoons of aquafaba. This is full of protein, and you will see if you were using an egg or egg white to make mayonnaise, you will notice that everything goes down to the bottom. This is what they demoed online. I'm going to use a submersion or immersion blender, and starting at the bottom, I'm going to pull the blender up so that it resembles when you're doing a food processor, when you put everything in the bottom and then you slowly pour in your oil to get that mayonnaise. We're going to be doing our vegan mayonnaise. I have not done this before, so wish me luck. So we're supposed to pull it up as it blends. The aquafaba is the thickening agent, which in a normal case would be your eggs. There's no bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich without mayonnaise. And you can go and buy vegan mayonnaise, but why not do it yourself? Especially if you got like 90% of the products here. The only thing that I really had to go and get in order to make this mayo. Now, I'll stop it here. I won't trust this to stand up. Well, I'll trust it to stand up. It's a little bit of sweetener. The recipe does not call for that. But when it comes to making sandwiches with mayonnaise, I prefer Miracle Whip. So, that little bit of, not a whole packet, that little bit of sweetener is going to give me the Miracle Whip as opposed to mayo. So I'll stop now. We'll be back. I will show you the bacon once it's done. I will show you my sandwich. I also have pita pockets. I'm thinking I'll probably do that. I don't need a whole bunch of bread. Grain is good. It's good for you, but not too much. In any event, let me take a spoon and just taste for you this mayo. You see how fluffy that is? Do you see that? It's Miracle Whip. It's Miracle Whip. Now, I could use a little bit more sweetening. I don't like mayonnaise. I'm not a big fan of it. Whenever I make potato salad or anything, tuna fish salad, it's always Miracle Whip. So I'm going to put a little bit more sweetening in there. But to the mouth, the feel is just like mayo. I'll see you soon when I pull this sandwich together for you.